What's up, guys? So I've been wearing these boots for about almost a month total wear. So I figured I'd do a little review on them. These are John Lofgren's. They're the combat boots uh, in olive chromexel. They're made on John Lofgren's 120 last. They're it's kind of a it's not like a bulbous toe, but I really like the shape of like the toe. It's got a let's see, got a little bit of toe spring and stuff. But I mean, when you wear it at all, you don't really notice the toe spring. Like it flattens out. Uh, Sizing for the 120 last. Uh, John Lofgren, like on their website, it says to go a full size down from Brannick. All the pretty much all the people that carry this boot, like all the different sites that carry them, they all say to go a full size down from Brannick also. So that's what I did. I'm a 12D Brannick, and I got these in 11. Let's see here, they say 11E. I guess maybe the 120 last is just like a standard E width type thing. But yeah, so I went a full size down. Um, when I when I first wore them, they were really snug around the ball of the foot, kind of tight in the instep, and it runs really narrow through like the arch area of your foot into your heel, which which was a new thing for me. I just in all my other videos I talk about how like the kind of the back half of my foot is pretty skinny, so I never really had to deal with like it being snug back here, like really real snug. So yeah, it seems like the last run's pretty narrow. Like not in the toe box, like the toe box up here, it's pretty roomy. Just like from the ball of the foot back, it seems to run pretty narrow. Um, so if you had a wider, I'm solidly a D width on the Brannick. So like if you had a wider foot, uh, or if you know you boots that you try on usually are pretty snug here in the arch area of your foot, I would maybe think about just going a half size down instead of a full size down. Because yeah, it seems pretty narrow back there, uh, and yeah, so I think you might be cutting it close unless you have kind of like a narrow arch area of your foot. Um, this is Chromaxle, so I wasn't worried about how snug it was. Just from wearing Chromaxle boots, I know that leather stretches a lot, and it did. Uh, it stretched out, within probably the first few days. It stretched out enough to where it fits just perfect now. Like it hugs the foot, but it isn't anywhere near as snug as it was when I first got them. Like if this they make this exact boot in like they have some limited edition shell cordovan ones. They make another boot that's plain toe that uses the same. It's pretty much I can't remember what it's called. It might be the Ludlow boot, but it's basically this boot without the cap toe, and they make that in a I think Shinky horse butt. So like if I was gonna get something on the 120 last in a leather that didn't stretch, I probably wouldn't go a full size down again. It's fine because it's Chromexel and it's stretched and it fits great now. But yeah, if it was like shell cordovan or that Shinky horse butt, I probably would just go a half size down. So that's something to think about if you're looking to get a pair of these. The toe shape on it, I I really like the shape of this last. It's not like super. It's not too pointy, but it's not too bulbous either. Uh, it looks like a just a real nice boot. Like the front of it, it isn't like, even though the toe is structured, it doesn't look super work booty. Um, but yeah, it's just a really nice shape of a last. Here's some other cap toe boots that I have. Try to maybe give you an idea of what this last looks like. So this is the Truman 79 last. See it there, and you can kind of see how it looks like it's a little it runs a little wider there, and it's a little pointier in the toe box there. And you can kind of see what I was talking about there, how it narrows down a lot, like through the middle of your foot, especially compared to the 79 last there. Here's a Viberg 2030. Let's see, it's the Viberg's a little more pointier, a little more hot dog ear shaped. Uh, yeah, you can see that there. And again, just how much more narrow it is through the waist there. And then here's a white MP on the MP last. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so that's it. Kind of looking at the last shape versus some other kind of lasts that are kind of in boots that are kind of similar to this. Uh, Construction on these. These things are made in Japan. John Lofgren actually, they're John Lofgren's pretty much just like a label almost. Like they don't actually make this boot themselves. They contract a factory in Japan to make it for them. It's Goodyear welted. These ones, they use a 360-degree welt. It's it's the pretty standard mass-produced style of Goodyear welting where it uses like a canvas gemming. Not like Viberg's Goodyear welt where they actually channel the insole itself. It has uh, a leather midsole and insole. It's got leather in the heel there. They use steel shanks and a cork filler. I couldn't really find any info of what the heel counter or the toe structure is, because it is structured. The heel counter, it seems pretty flexible. It doesn't really. It feels a little more flexible. Like I don't think it would be Celastic. It might be like some of that glue impregnated like canvas or something like that. Maybe I I really couldn't find any info on if it was leather or not. It's been perfectly fine for the time I've been wearing it. And yeah, I couldn't really find how the toe is structured either. I'm assuming like it's a lot more rigid. I'm assuming it's like Celastic. Could be wrong though. I really don't know. It's got a Vibram V bar sole. The sole is actually brown, like a really dark brown. You kind of see there. Uh, this leather, it's Horween's Olive Chromexel. Pull up there. It's pretty. I like it. it looks like a lighter green here on the screen, but it's in person it's a little more dark, like a more of a dark olive color. It's pretty great. Love Chromexel. I I've got a thing for olive colored boots. Pretty cool looking. And you can see here, I I lost the Chromexel lottery here on this boot. You can see the brake there isn't very tight. I mean, that's kind of, you pretty much roll the dice with Chromexel. Like sometimes it'll do that. I I don't mind it at all. The only reason I mention it is because I know some of you that are going to watch this probably do care. So yeah, it had a pretty loose brake there. I don't mind. It's, I don't know, kind of comes with the territory with Chromexel sometimes. Like if you really don't like, your leathers that crease like that, I don't know, just buy boots and calfskin. I guess I don't know. It's sometimes stuff like that's gonna happen. I don't mind. Maybe you do, and that's fine. Um, so the design of this boot is I really like, and that's pretty much what drove me to buy it. Is I just love the look of it. I like the design of their backstay here, all the stitching and stuff like that, and the color too. I think it looks pretty cool. I love the shape of the last. Uh, after after the leather broke into my foot, it's super comfortable. Um, it came with it came with different laces. These are guarded goods wax laces. The laces that it came with, uh, they weren't waxed, and they just seemed kind of flimsy. I didn't really like them, so I changed them out. It's got a internal counter cover there. You can see that darker patch down there around the heel. It's like they sew in a rough out leather down there, so that's kind of nice. You can see like it's got this really nice. You can't really see it. See see if I can shine a light down in there. Like it's got this really nice design on the insole. You can see that. Is that a lion? Something like that. But yeah, it looks really nice. But yeah, cool boot, cool looking, really comfortable. It's well made. Uh, the price on it, don't really like that if I'm honest. This thing is, I can't remember if I bought it for 960 or 980, something like that, but almost $1,000. I really don't know why it costs that much. I mean, it's a nice, well-made boot. Like it uses nice materials. The finishing is really nice and everything. I just, even then, I don't understand why it's almost $1,000. If you look at something like Viberg, uh, this is what, like a $150 premium over a pair of Vibergs, and there isn't really anything super special about anything about it. It's the pretty standard Goodyear welted construction with the fabric gemming. Uh, Viberg does like the channeled insole, and and they're they're generally less expensive than this. I don't know. It's kind of something, I don't know what it is. Just like with fashion boots, they're usually kind of ridiculously overpriced. But honestly, people that are buying these boots probably don't mind objective value. Like financial value. You're paying almost $1,000 for a boot. You know probably don't care too much about stuff like that, but you know uh it just seems expensive for what it is. Like, I gotta bring that Truman back. So like this Truman, I think I paid like four, I don't know, mid 400s, maybe even 400. I I I know exactly all the materials that went into it. They're leather. It's really well built. Like the finishing is nice. Uh, and this thing is half the price of that. And I'm not saying this boot should be $450, right? Like I think it definitely deserves a premium over the Truman just for the design, and it uses a Hornween leather, which is generally more expensive than like equivalent Seidel stuff. And maybe the Trumans are made in the USA. I don't know what labor costs like are in Japan. I'm positive that they're not cheaper than in the US. They might be a lot more. I don't know. But even then, yeah, it would probably deserve a premium over the Trumans, but double the price of it, 150 more than a Viberg. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, probably not the best, probably not going to be on anyone's top best value boots list, but I mean, it's a cool boot. I like it. Uh, I don't, you know, people buying these types of boots probably just don't care. Uh, that's fine. It's a cool boot. I bought it, you know. Uh, so yeah, it's a really well designed boot. It's cool looking. I love the leather on it. You don't see Olive CXL too much. It's a really, you don't see many boots that look like it. I like the shape of it, and it is well built, and it's really nicely finished. Uh, the hardware on it's real nice. Yeah, just a really nice boot, awesome leather, cool design, just super expensive basically. But yeah, that's them after I've worn them a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you in the next one.